Loisaida Inc. presents Our AmeRícan Thing, a three-part series leading up to the legendary Loisaida Festival, highlighting the leaders who helped shape the community in which we live in today. I'm your host, Giraldo Luis Alvaré. Gracias for listening. Setting the tone for our premiere episode, we're joined by President of Elizabeth Colón and Associates, LLC, and one of the founding leaders of Loisaida Inc., Elizabeth Colón. So tell us a little bit about to the beautiful people of Loisaida and the world, from Loisaida to the world.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're from, and a little bit about yourself.
Well, I was born in Ponce, Puerto Rico, and came directly to the Lower East Side when I was close to 1 year old with my parents and family, directly to the Lower East Side. And I've never left. I'm still here. I grew up in the 60s, in the 70s, and was privileged to work with community-based organizations and community leaders like Dora Collaz-Olivi, Doña Petra Santiago, Gloria Martinez, and so many others, Arturo Santiago, Ruth Santiago, who were at the beginning of my development and my awareness of being Puerto Rican, somebody who was born in Puerto Rico but was growing up in a community like the Lower East Side. I grew up in that movement in the Lower East Side as the Puerto Rican community evolved, the Latino community, later the Dominicans and later Central and South Americans, came here. Puerto Ricans in leadership, but also oppressed by the politics that resisted their inclusion. We were citizens. There was nobody waiting for us here to help us. So we had to make our own way. And that just made us much, much more strong. And after that, many of us got together, created a political movement called New Jibaro, Democrats at that time. We won district leaderships, we won school board elections, and we made our voices heard in this closed community. After that, I went on to do different things, working with Community Service Society. I was the executive director of something called the Association of Puerto Rican Executive Directors. Never left my roots, never left my love for the Lower East Side. And during that very time, Dora Collaz-Olivi, Doña Petra Santiago, Tato Laviera, Bimbo Rivas, and so many others, many from the arts and cultural community, created Loisaida Inc. So Loisaida is a movement, the word created by Bimbo as an expression of love for where he had grown up and had decided to root in and raise his children in. We all connected with that. That is why we called it Loisaida Inc. And from that Loisaida Inc. arts and cultural area, we knew that that was the core, that was the basis of how we would lift the community, because a community does not evolve without a basis, a belief in culture, without arts and expression of arts to feel the joy of who you are, to know your identity, and to feel that you can contribute in a place where you were not born, that you're kind of marginalized, but you're going to push in and continue to contribute to make sure that where you're raising your children, where you've decided to live, is a good place to live. And that's what I've been doing for the last 50 years or so. So that's who I am. Over the years, I've done many things, but I've always come back to my roots. As a founder of Loisaida in the late 2000s, Loisaida went through a very difficult patch, but the community came together from all spectrums, from the right, the left, the middle. People saw the value of keeping Loisaida. And the Loisaida Festival was the anchor to that, because it brought the community together, not just insularly, but it invited all of the rest of the community to come to celebrate their own cultures, to know and learn about the Puerto Rican culture, but also to understand who we were in the global community. So we were not shy to talk about the issues of Puerto Rico. We were not shy to talk about our singular framework as not immigrants, but American citizens. And what visionary grabbed onto that and made it a part of his art was Jesus Abraham Tato Laviera. Tato Laviera heard that word, American, and what did he hear in it? He heard AmeRícan, and that is where he came. And that I am amazed and fascinated, and I thank Alejandro with all my heart that he has recognized Tato, that he has recognized that intention and that power that he gave us by using that word American to express who we were, not just Puerto Rican, but an AmeRícan. And that is going to be celebrated this year in the festival, is a tribute to him. And of course, to Ruth Laviera, his sister, who passed away this past year, and who was just past year awarded a Loisaida Viva Award. So I'm very pleased to be with you today and to be able to share that.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And you've contributed so much. You're part of this rich legacy. What, to you, that idea, I mean, you in the context of Loisaida today, what does that mean to me?
What that means to me is that we're still here, and we have evolved amazingly. Just come. We invite people to come to the Lower East Side, to Loisaida, to the organization, to see that Loisaida did not die. Loisaida lived because of the energy, the intention of the community, and the love, joy, and the expression of its culture that it has rooted in this community that will never die. And so I see that as a message globally to the world, to everybody. We're here, and this is ours.
That's right. And you've been part of so many festivals. What's your fondest memory? Is there one that stands out in particular that you look back and go, wow, that memory is something that you can be making your favorite dish or taking a stroll in Central Park and you're like, wow, this is amazing?
The week before, figuring out and wondering, is it going to rain? Is it going to be cold, windy? What are we going to do? So there is a tension when you're so involved in actually making it happen and wanting it to be successful. But then you come and you see the people coming from Avenue D, from Avenue B, from below Houston. People come from the Bronx. People come from all over the city to enjoy the festival. And it has grown over all of these years. And it's a rite of passage. If you haven't come to the Loisaida Festival, I don't know who you are.
Absolutely right.
You can't claim, but you can claim it if you do come, and we invite everybody to come, because it's always on the same day, Sunday, Memorial Day weekend. And why? Why? Because back then, many years ago, everybody left and only certain people were able to stay here who perhaps couldn't afford to leave or they couldn't take. Loisaida decided to say, you know what, we're going to celebrate our community because we want people to have joy, because we want to develop our community. We're resisting at the same time, but if we insert the chemistry of joy, it doesn't become anger, because we can't be in the Bahamas or we can't be upstate in the Seven Lakes and we can't Bear Mountain. We're going to be in the Lower East Side, but we're going to celebrate on Avenue C. So what also happened, we branded it. We told the New York City Council, we told the mayor of the city of New York, Avenue C is Loisaida Avenue. And because we created the New Jíbaro movement, we had Robert Caballero was the district leader, Dora was we were able to make that happen. So that's why you have right now Loisaida Avenue. Tato was the president of New Jíbaro. As much as he was a poet and an artist, he was a political visionary, strategist, along with Gerson Cabreras, Dora Collazo, Petra Santiago, and myself. And I think that is the legacy that we leave to this community and to our young people in the community that may not know that. Why aren't we, what's this Loisaida thing? Oh, that was a version of resistance, but joyous version, because then it got converted into the energy of culture, art celebration with the Loisaida Festival.
Very powerful words, very beautiful words. And to close this out, Loisaida means a lot of things to a lot of people, but to you in particular, in a few words, what does it mean to you? You shared a lot throughout this beautiful interview. What does it mean to you?
I would say that the theme this year captures it, which is resilience, resistance, but with a smile, with a hope and a knowledge that the future is ours. We're not marginalized. We're not invisible. You can't let others think that. So that is in your head. So what Loisaida means to me is liberating. It's freedom to do and call this place what we felt like calling it. And guess what? It has catched on globally. Go to Spain, there are places that they call Loisaida in Spain. Restaurants, because now it was originally a movement, now it's iconic, now it's accepted, it's a word, but it is a sentiment. What we Puerto Ricans have to make sure to do is that you gotta tell people that it originated that way. It's not bad to say that, but that in our love for the world, we share it. So I feel wonderful when people, you know, say Loisaida, Loisaida, Loisaida. To me, it means Loisaida, Alejandro's Loisaida. That's to me, because that's where we kind of created that and took it with Bimbo. Bimbo was here but you know what? You see, that is a very Puerto Rican thing, and we all talk about it. We're very generous. We want people to share in our joy, in our arts, our culture. And sometimes they say, you know, nosotros somos demasiado de bendito, pero You know, it brings me joy to see other people enjoying Loisaida, enjoying the festival.
Gracias for listening and stay tuned for next week's episode featuring Caridad de la Luz, known as La Bruja, Emmy-winning poet and executive director of the Nuyorican Poets Cafe. Hasta la próxima. Pa'lante.